Hello students, welcome to our online teaching class of Balangir Public School. Today we will discuss history of class 9th, chapter 1, the last part of part 4. We have already discussed up to 3 parts. Now we will discuss, did women have a revolution? Did women have a revolution? So here, what is the role of the women in the French Revolution? We will come to know. So did women have a revolution in order to achieve their demands, in order to achieve their goals also? From the very beginning, women were active participants in the events which brought about so many important changes in the French society. They hoped that their involvement would pressurize, while the men were in the front, that is in the struggle during the French Revolution, the women were taking the care of their family, which were becoming very difficult on their parts. So women also wanted to participate in the French Revolution with the hope to achieve their demands to some extent. They hoped that their involvement would pressurize the government, and the government may take some steps in order to provide them political rights and other rights demanded by them. They worked. So most of women of the third estate had to work for a living. They had to do different activities for maintaining their livelihood. Some women were doing work as seamstresses, laundresses. Some women were selling fruits, vegetables, etc. in the market, and they were employed as some of them were employed as domestic servants in order to maintain their family also. Most women did not have access to education. Most women did not have access to education or job training also. Only daughters of the well-to-do people or the rich family or the nobles, they were getting education. They were getting the scope of education, job training and other things. And after completing their education, which their families arranged a marriage for them also. So working women had also to care for their families. That is, working women had also to take care of for their families, like cooking, fetching water, to queue up in the line to get some bread and look after their children. Okay, so their wages were always lower than the men. This was the situation of the women during the French Revolution. So what did the women do? What did the women want to solve their problems? In order to discuss and voice their interest, like the women, the men had formed different political clubs like Jacobin clubs in order to discuss, in order to plan, in order to criticize the government. Like this, the women also now formed in order to discuss and voice their interest. The women also started to form their own political clubs. They started different newspapers also. About 60 women's clubs had been formed at that time. The society of, and among them the most important was the Society of Revolutionary and Republican. The Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women was the now most famous of these revolutionary women's clubs. One of their main demands was that women enjoy the political rights as men. The women also at that time demanded that, like the men, they should also get the political rights, the right to vote. Women were disappointed by the Constitution of 1791, and it reduced them to just a passive citizens. But the women did not have the right to vote. So they demanded the right to vote, to be elected. At that time they demanded different political rights like the men. Not only the right to get vote, not only to get the right to vote, besides it, they also demanded to be elected to the assembly, and they should also be able to hold political political office. Again, only then they felt their interest be represented in the new government. By that, they could be able to only then they felt that their interest can be represented in the new government. Okay. So in the early years, the revolutionary government did not introduce laws that helped. In the early years, the revolutionary government did not introduce laws that helped improve the lives of women. Matlab the previous government did not take any single steps for the development of the upliftment of the women categories at that time. Together with the creation of state schools, schooling was made compulsory for girls. Their fathers could no longer force them into marriage against their wills. So, and marriage was made into a contract. It was registered it was entered into freely and registered under civil law. Divorce was applied from both sides. That is from the wife and the husband. Women could now train for jobs. Women could become artists. Women could run small business, etc. All these things. So such type of development became possible in the life of the women. Women's struggles for equal political rights, however, continued. Women's struggles for equal political rights, however, continued during the reign of terror. You know, the reign of terror, the period of Jacobins, Robespierre, 1793 to 1794. It was known as the reign of terror. During this period, the new government issued laws ordering closures of women's clubs. Matlab this government or the Jacobins or the Robespierre's government banned everything or ordered for the close of the women's clubs, banning their political activities, everything. Many prominent women were arrested and some of them were also executed. Women's movement for voting rights and equal wages. Women's movements continued throughout Europe and the world also, not only in France. So women's movement for voting rights and equal wages continued through the next 200 years. And after throughout the country, through the different countries of the world. And after a long sufferings, long struggle, the fight for the vote was carried out through an international suffrage movement during the late 19th and early 18th century. This demand of the women for the right to vote and the equal wages like the men continued throughout the world for a long 200 years, and at last the women got the right to vote. And here in France, the women finally got the right to vote in 1946. In 1946, the women got the right to vote after a long suffering. Thereafter, second point, the abolition of slavery. The abolition of slavery. How the slave system was abolished, we will come to know here. This is the slave system, how the slavery or the slave system was abolished. Or in this point, we will come to know what is the triangular slave trade. Triangular slave trade, we will come to know here also. One of the most revolutionary social reforms of the Jacobins regimes was the abolition of it was a very important thing, important steps taken by the Robespierre's government, that the Jacobins regime or administration had abolished the slavery or the slave systems in French colonies. Okay, the Robespierre's government or the Jacobins government had abolished this slavery or slave system in different colonies or in the French colonies. The colonies in the Caribbean, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and San Domingo were important suppliers of commodities such as tobacco, indigo, sugarcane, and coffee. All these things were being supplied by these colonies, like the Caribbean, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and San Domingo. All these three colonies, they were supplying important commodities like tobacco, indigo, sugarcane, and coffee. But the reluctance of Europeans to go but the Europeans people at that time did not want to go and work in the far up places. As a result, problem of labor emerged during this period. Africa, so here but the Europeans did not want to did not want to go and work in distant and unfamiliar areas, unfamiliar lands. That means a shortage of labor on the plantation. So this was made when these people or when the different people from different European people, those who were working as the laborers in the plantation, and they did not refuse to go and work in the plantation. As a result, the plantation work was stopped. So this was made by a triangular slave trade. This plantation work was again carried out by a triangular slave trade. How this triangular slave trade was continued? So this labor shortage, in order to produce the different important commodities like tea, coffee, sugarcane, etc., were made by triangular slave trade. What is triangular slave trade? So here, between this triangular slave trade was continuing between Europe, Africa, and the Americas. This triangular slave trade was continued between Europe, Africa, and America. This triangular slave trade was continued between Europe, Africa, and Americas. Americas here stands for different American colonies. The slave trade began in the 17th century. French merchants sailed from. The slave trade was going on during this period also. And the slave trade now began in the 17th century. It began in 17th century. French merchants sailed from the ports of the Bordeaux or Nantes to the African coast. Different French traders, they were coming through the sea routes. They were starting their journey from the ports of the Bordeaux and Nantes and they were coming to the African coast. And in the African coast, the slaves were in the African coast. These French traders bought slaves from the local chieftains at a very cheap rates. And after purchasing the slaves, they packed them tightly into the ships. And it took them for 3 months long voyage, sea journey. And for a long time, after 3 months of long sea journey across the Atlantic to the Caribbean, Martinique, they were sold to the plantation owners. And again, when they were coming back with large numbers of slaves with them, they sold to the different plantation owners. And the exploitation of slaves, thereafter, in this way, the plantation owners got the labor and solved their problems of labor shortage for carrying on their plantation works. The exploitation of slave labor made it possible. The exploitation of slave labor made it possible to meet the growing demand in European markets for sugar. Again, the plantation owners became able to produce these commodities to a large extent, like sugar, coffee, indigo, for the people in Europe. Port cities like Bordeaux, when slave trade developed in a large extent, then port cities like Bordeaux, Nantes, मतलब port cities, different port cities. At that time, Bordeaux, Nantes. So these are Bordeaux and Nantes were the two important port cities. Okay, so here also throughout the 18th century there was a little criticism of slavery in France. The National Assembly held long debates about. Throughout the 18th century there was a little criticism about this slavery system. The National Assembly had long debates about whether the rights of men should be extended to all French subjects, including those in colonies, but it did not pass any laws. The National Assembly in France also did not pass any laws also regarding the slaves, but it did not pass any laws, fearing opposition. Why the National Assembly did not pass any law against the slave trade? Because these slave traders in France, they were eminent persons. They were very great persons. They were very rich persons. So the government did not dare to go against the French traders. At last, it was finally the convention which in 1794, it was the period of the Maximilien Robespierre, who abolished the slave trade, legislated to free all slaves. In 1794, the Jacobins government abolished the past legislation to free all slaves in the French overseas possession. This, however, turned out to be short-term measure 10 years later. But after 10 years, when Napoleon Bonaparte captured the powers in France, again he reintroduced slave systems just after 10 years. Okay, so Napoleon reintroduced slavery. Plantation owners understood their freedom as including the right to enslave African Negroes. Negroes, you know, the people of South Africa, the black people of South Africa, they are termed as Negroes. So in this way, the slavery was finally abolished in French colonies in 1848. And at last, in 1848, this slavery was totally abolished from France. So in 1946, the women got the right to vote in French colonies. In 1848, the system of slaves was totally abolished from France. The revolution and everyday life. Here, the revolution and everyday life. The revolution and everyday life, definitely when the French Revolution was carrying on in 18, it was the latter part of the 18th century, that is in 1798. It brought a lot of changes in the French society, in French society. It brought a lot of changes in the lives of men, women, and children also. Okay, the revolutionary government took it upon themselves to pass different laws that would translate the ideals of liberty and equality in everyday practice. This French Revolution, here we will discuss about the outcome of the French Revolution. This French Revolution brought a lot of changes in the lives of men, women, and children. It passed a lot of laws also in order to implement the ideals of liberty and equality in everyday life, of the people. One important law that came into effect soon after the storming of the Bastille in the summer of 1789 was the abolition of censorship. You know, during the monarchical administration in France, there was censorship system. There was censorship, you know, the old regime, in the old regime, all written materials and cultural activities books, newspapers, plays could be published after getting the censor of the king. This was known as censorship. Okay. So in the old regime, all written materials and cultural activities, that may be books, newspapers, plays, all these could be published after getting the censor or permission from the king. This was known as censorship. So now the Declaration of the Rights of Men and Citizens. Now the Declaration of the Rights of Men and Citizens, when the men and citizens got the different rights like the freedom of speech and expression, to be a natural right, newspaper, pamphlets. Well, this censorship system was abolished thereafter. Okay, this censorship system was totally abolished from France, and people got, the citizens of the people of France got the right to the freedom of speech and expression, which is a natural right, of the people. Newspaper, thereafter different newspapers, pamphlets, news magazines, books, and printed pictures flooded in the different towns of France. From where they traveled rapidly into the countryside also. From there it traveled, it reached to the rural areas also. They all described and discussed the events and changes that took place in France. Okay. So freedom of the press also meant that opposing views of events could be expressed. Each side sought to convince the others of its position through the medium of, so with the help of print media, or with the help through the printed materials, that may be books or magazines, newspapers, people could read and could convince about the good and bad of the different atmosphere or the different environment or different things of the society and the country. Plays, songs, and festive processions attracted large number of people. Different plays, songs, and festive processions also attracted large number of people. This was one way they could grasp and identify with ideas such as liberty or justice. That political philosopher, different political philosophers through their valuable inspirational writing could inspire the people, which and brought awareness among the people in France, especially in the minds of the third state people. Thereafter, they made themselves ready and started the French Revolution against the old regime. Then come to the point, that is conclusion. So in 1804, you know that the situation. In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte became the Emperor of France, and after becoming the Emperor of France, Napoleon Bonaparte started to conquer neighboring European countries and dispossessing different dynasties and creating kingdoms where he placed members of his family. That means after Napoleon Bonaparte became the Emperor of France in 1804. Thereafter, Napoleon Bonaparte captured or conquered different European countries, displaced or dispossessed the different dynasties from ruling over these different kingdoms, and made the rulers of those new kingdoms, and made their relatives or made their own relatives as the ruler of those new kingdoms. He introduced many laws. Napoleon, after becoming the king, Napoleon Bonaparte introduced a lot of changes. He brought a lot of reforms, which was known as the Civil Code of 1804 or the Napoleonic Code of 1804. He had taken a lot of steps. He had taken steps for the protection of the private property, uniform action measures. Napoleon armies came to be viewed at first everywhere as Napoleon at first. Initially, at first many people saw Napoleon Bonaparte as a liberator who would bring freedom for the people in France. But very soon people observed that Napoleon Bonaparte was an invading force, not a liberator. He was finally defeated. Napoleon Bonaparte was finally defeated in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Battle of Waterloo. Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Many of his measures thereafter carried the revolutionary ideas. Although he was defeated, long after his death also, many of his reforms spread to different parts of Europe, and it had a positive impact on people long after Napoleon's death. The ideas of liberty, the ideas of liberty and democratic rights. Democratic rights, so in a democracy we the people enjoy different rights. So the ideas of liberty and democratic rights were the most important legacy of the French Revolution. This idea of liberty and democratic rights are the most important, were the most legacy of the French Revolution. This spread from France to the rest of Europe. These ideas of liberty, the ideas of liberty and democratic rights also spread to different parts of other countries, to different parts of Europe also during the 19th century, where feudal system were abolished, feudal system were totally abolished, and colonized peoples reworked the idea of freedom from bondage into their movements to create a sovereign nation state. Then different colonized people, those countries, so you know, during this period, almost all the countries of Europe, almost all the countries of Asia and Africa were colonized. So getting inspiration from French Revolution, especially this French Revolution in 1789, all these colonies, they also made themselves ready. They were also determined to fight against their colonizers in order to make their country free from them. Okay, and at that time, two important persons like Tipu Sultan and Ram Mohan Rai. Tipu Sultan and Ram Mohan Rai are two examples who followed the principles of, who followed the revolutionary idea of the French Revolution. Okay, you will do the exercises thereafter. Thank you. Next we will discuss economics, chapter 2, people as a resource.